The Bible teaches us that if we obey the Lord, obey what He's told us, we'll have joy in doing that. In John chapter 15, verses 9 through 11, Jesus says, if you keep my commands, you'll remain in my love. Because you've kept my Father's commands, I remain in His love. He said, I've told you this so that you'll do these things and your joy may be in you and your joy may be complete. But sometimes people say, that's kind of lame. Obeying God won't make my life complete. It's very hard sometimes to say, wow, I've got to get baptized and do it. It's hard a lot of times to just forgive someone and never go back on it. Not let it go through your mind again that you didn't forgive them or anything like that. To forgive them as the Lord forgave you. And also, it's very hard to obey the Lord in praying for your enemies. And some people struggle with lots of things. They say, no, I can't give up my lust. I love my lust. I love to get drunk all the time. I love this and that. But obeying the Lord brings joy. And so, Nehemiah chapter 8, verses 13 through 18. Check this out. Obeying the Lord brings joy. On the second day of the month, the heads of all the families, along with the priests and Levites, gathered around Ezra the teacher to give attention to the words of the law. They found written in the law, which the Lord had commanded through Moses, that the Israelites were to live in temporary shelters during the festival on the 7th month, and that they should proclaim this word and spread it throughout the towns in Jerusalem. Go out into the hill country and bring back branches from olive and wild olive trees, and from myrtles, palms, and shade trees to make temporary shelters, as it is written. So the people went out and brought back branches and built themselves temporary shelters on their own roofs, in their courtyards, in the courts of the house of God, and in the square by the water gate, and the one by the gate of Ephraim. The whole company that returned from exile built temporary shelters and lived in them. From the days of Joshua the son of Nun until that day, the Israelites had not celebrated like this. So, they're living in a new place. They've been like in Persia. They've been in all these great places. And now they're back in the Lord's territory. And they're living in little houses they made out of sticks. So they're not living in their houses. They decide, we're going to step out of our houses and get a bunch of sticks, put them together, and live in like a little shanty hut. That's all right, right? That's going to be great, right? Why would they do that? Because they're obeying the Lord. And what does it say right after this? It says, and their joy was very great. Just imagine yourself getting out of your house and going and cutting up a bunch of sticks, tying them together or whatever, and having them right there. Imagine what your kids are going to say. You say, hey, you better wake up on time, because if you don't, the bus is going to come and all the kids are going to see you're standing in this little toothpick hut. But they had joy. Why? Simply because they obeyed the Lord. Sometimes we're not convinced that, wow, that's going to bring me joy to do that command. But the Lord is worthy, and to obey Him brings joy. So let our joy reach completion. Let our joy reach abundance and fullness simply by continuing to obey Him in every way and in depth, especially when it comes to the liberation of actually forgiving people that have offended you greatly, forgiving people that it's caused a lot of problems in your own internal maelstrom to get rid of that, because the Lord says, obey me, do this, and what? You'll receive more and more joy in this in completion.